Hi everyone, welcome to the second part of this video from I Heart Colouring little book, but we're going to be doing some autumn leaves today. So I thought whether you have this book or not, you might just enjoy a few different colour combinations. I do actually have some leaf colour combinations on some pages in my Ko-fi shop for free. So you can go and have a little look at those if you want. It lists the different colours and things like that. I think they're polychromos. I think there might be one for Christmas. I'm not sure. If I forget to put it, I will forget to put it in the description. Let me know and I'll do it for you if you're interested. And we're going to start with this leaf here. We're using our Black Widow's pencils. I'm going to start with a green. No surprise there. I'm just going to grab one that we haven't used. What's that one? I'm going to use the Zombie. It's great colour. Great colour name, Zombie. And we're just doing this one in this corner, so I'm going to colour the whole thing with the Zombie. I'm not going to do it too hard because we're going to do a few other colours. Now this one, as you can see, has the leaf veins in, and quite often they're a little bit lighter than the rest of the leaf. Sometimes they're a bit darker, just to be confusing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, what's this colour here? Not the colour I want. Here we go, an olive brown. And I'm just going to do around it. So I'm going to try and make it look like it's a bit lighter by putting a little bit of brown just around the edge of it like that. And then sort of fading that off into the leaf. And then it gives us an autumnal feel as well. And the same with this little bit here. I'm going to put a little bit over that whole leaf so the edge stays green and the inside is brown. Now, I don't know if that's a realistic colour for an autumn leaf, but I'm not too worried. I'm just playing around with some colours and you can decide whether you like that or not. Now this one has an outline as well. For this one I'm going to do the outline in a dark colour. I'm going to use the cinnamon when I can find it. There it is. So here's the cinnamon. I'm going to use that for the outside. Needs a sharpen, very blunt. I hope everyone's doing well. I really just wanted to fit in a little bit more autumn colouring before winter is really upon us. You know, it's such a pretty time of year. I know some people aren't keen on it because it's sort of beginning of winter, and some people aren't keen on the days when it's not so sunny and it's cold. I'm just doing that bit because I've missed it out. I should really do it with the brown that I used for that, but I can't remember what it was, so I'm just cheating. I'm also going to put a bit of this down the middle of this leaf and just sort of spread it a bit like this, just a little bit, and fade it. Now it doesn't look like the same colour, which was the plan, and we're going to incorporate that into our next colour, which is going to be the green grass. We have, I think, used this before. Where are you, green grass? Yeah, there you are. Yes, we have used it before, but it's a good colour to work together with brown. And I'm going to go over the top of this bit and then fade towards the edge, but that brown that's underneath will just show through because these pencils layer up, and you can see, because they're transparent, you can see the colour that's underneath. I like that. It looks a little bit too minty. I don't know why. It wasn't my intention. What I'm going to do is use a very limey, I'm going to use the Calm Lime colour to bring it back to a more olive tone. Here we go, Calm Lime, because it isn't looking how I wanted. You can put this over the edge as well. I don't think there's any need. I want my edge to look like it's sort of crisping up. You know how leaves do that on the very edges? And this gives us a much warmer, yellower, more autumnal colour, in my opinion. If you like that sort of more piney colour, you could use a sort of a peppermint or something, but it doesn't give me the autumn vibe that I'm looking for myself. There we go. So there's another leaf done. We have a very small bit of leaf here. I'm just going to grab a random green. Daring of me. What's this one? Oh, this is called pine. It's probably going to be a bit minty, but we'll put it down over the whole leaf and then have a look and see what we're going to do with it. Now, I'm not sure if this is a sort of border or what. I'm going to just not worry about it. There we go. So there's our pine green, but it's not enough for me just to have that. So I'm going to grab a brown. I'm going to use the mud. Great colour name, mud. And put it on the edges a little bit. And then sort of fade it in a bit. So we've got a brownish colour on top of that pine, like that. Just a bit on that last bit. There we go. There's our next leaf. Quite simple, but it's only little. I don't want to spend hours on a little tiny leaf. This one, I think that bit there might be a bit of this leaf, but I might just totally forget that I had that idea. Now I want a few different colours. I want to go for more of a brown red leaf. Just trying to think where to start. I think I'm going to start with the tarantula. Where are you? Here. No, that's the huntsman. Oh, that'll do. Huntsman. I grabbed the wrong one, but perhaps it was a good idea. And I'm going to start in the middle. We're going to start dark in the middle. Now I realise that this is a similar brown, but it's okay because we're going to fade it off like that. I think I'm going to ignore the sort of veins that are drawn on it with this one. So fade it there. Then we're going to go for a more reddy colour. I want the chestnut. It's almost, where are you, chestnut? Here. It's almost red. I think it will be quite cool for an autumnal leaf. On top of that dark brown, it's quite muted, but you'll see, oops, out of the line she goes. As I come to the bit that hasn't got the brown on, it can be quite bright. I'm not putting it down, I'm not putting down too thick a layer because I want it to not look too bold. I really want the berries to stand out just because they're my favourite bit. There we go. Now I want to go all over that with something just to help it to blend better. And I'm going to use the colour called Serpent. Is that it? No. Here it is. It's like an orangey yellow. Serpent. And just put it over all of it. And it will blend it and brighten it. I need to sharpen this pencil. Do work better when they're sharp. And you can see we've got a nice rich colour now. Warm and blended better. I mean, these pencils don't blend as in, you can't put colours on top and move them around the page, but if you put colours on top and it fills in little gaps between the colours and things like that, it just helps it to look more intense. So there is that bit. We've done all that top row. I'm going to do this one next. Now, we've got little sections in this one, and I think, yeah, well, let's have a think. I'm just going to look at my colours. Yeah, I'm going to do this in Stink Bug. Good name. Love the name. Is that it there? No. Here it is, Stink Bug. And we're only going to use the one colour. It's just to show you a different technique. So I'm going to start darker in the middle here and then just fade it to the edge within each little section. So more here, so just pressing a bit harder and layering up and then fading it off to the edge like that. So it's just a really simple technique where you can make it look like it's got different colours in and it hasn't. Not keep swapping and swapping pencils all the time. If you've got a limited set, you know, only a few colours, then this is a good way to use them, and it still looks, I mean, it's a nice colour in my opinion, so I think it still looks pretty grand, even though, grand, I sound like I'm northern. I'm not northern. I think you can tell I'm not northern. Northern people have strong accents. I have a strong accent, I think, but not northern, southern. Right, here, this leaf looks like a maple leaf, don't you think? Like a Canadian maple. So we could do it red, but berries are red, and so it could also be a sycamore. I am going to find the grass blade. Really love that colour. Not sure where it is though. Have I used it already? Where are you, grass blade? You're between olive green and leaf green. There it is. Oh, it's too, the elastic bands in my pencil case go over the top of the names of the pencils in this set. I'm going to do the whole of this leaf in this colour, like I did with the first one we did, and I used the same colour, and then I brought other colours into the mix after. That's what I'm going to do with this one, because I really like this colour. It's also a really big area to fill, so I just want to sort of get some colour down, and then it doesn't feel as daunting. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I do enjoy colouring a leaf. I think it's because I really like green. That helps. I mean, obviously I'm not doing more green today, but some of them, yeah, I like a green. My dad's favourite colour is green, interestingly. It always has been. I remember when I was little, you know, what's your favourite colour? It used to change, you know. I don't know what it changed from and to, really. I don't really remember. So that is our layer to start with. I'm going to grab the forest and put a little bit of darker colour into the middle along this central line here, and then just sort of fade it out a little bit. I'm avoiding that edge because we're going to do that in a brown, I think. But I'm just putting a little bit of colour into here like this, and the same here. Now, once you've done this, you can go back over it with the original colour, which was, I can't even remember, grass blade. I'm hungry, my brain stopped working. It's nearly lunchtime. Thinking about what to eat. It's good, isn't it? Yeah, I am going to go back over it with the grass blade. Maybe not all the way to the tip, so it sort of fades out towards it a little bit, like that. Maybe to this one, because it's quite dark there. There we go. Feel like it needs a little bit of tidying up. Now around the edge, what sort of brown? I'm going to grab this one. This is the saddle. I think it's quite a good brown for this. It's sort of mid. It's not really dark. Well, this might end up looking quite like one of the others, but never mind. All the way around the edge. Really simple. I'm just trying to layer it up a little bit. You can see me going back and forth, just so that you can actually see it. In some places the green is thicker than others, and that makes it not sit on the paper evenly, but I don't mind, because I think that's more realistic. I mean, I realise I didn't plan it, but it's fine. There we go. There's our big leaf. Now we've got a couple down here. This one here next. I'm thinking let's go much more. It's going to go much more reddy, but we've got very much red either side, so maybe that isn't a good idea. Maybe I'll go browner. Let's have a look. What have we got? Yeah, I'm going to grab that tarantula, which I had threatened to use before. And I think what I'm going to do with this one is do all our bits and pieces. So stem and veins and edge with the dark brown, like this, just blocking it in nice and simple. It's just a different technique. Now, I know I'm doing them all a bit different to each other, trying to anyway. You don't have to. You can pick a technique that you like and use it for everything, you know. I'm going to use the leaf green now for the actual leaf. I'm going to try and make it darker at the middle here, and then just fade it off a little bit towards the edge if I can without it looking too odd. I think it just about shows up. It's quite a small area really. There are so many different ways to colour leaves and so many different colours. You don't have to use conventional colours either. You know, you can do anything you wish. Now this one, I think I am gonna go for a more orangey red if I can. Will that sherbet work? I'm gonna try it. We can always go over it with something if it doesn't quite look right. That's not it. Where are you, sherbet? There you are. I don't know if this is a bit pinkish, but I'm going to give it a go on this one. I'm going to do it as a sort of layer all over it. It doesn't look too pinkish to me. We will be using something else as well, I'm sure. So I'm just putting down a layer. Now what I'm going to do is make it darker in the middle and then sort of fade it towards the edge. Got sort of orangey colour. To me that is a bit pinkish. I wasn't sure, but I definitely think it is. So what I'm going to do is go over it with some yellow. I'm going to use the mustard. I think the mustard will work nicely. So just going back over everything I've done with a mustard, and it will turn it into more of a yellowy orange rather than that slightly pinky salmony colour, which was rather pretty but just didn't quite fit the bill. So there we go. That's much better. Much happier with that. Now if you want, you can make that outside edge a bit darker as well with a darker brown or something. I'm not going to. I'm going to move on. I was quite happy with that, and sometimes I don't want to do the outside differently. You know, I have on all of them so far, so let's do one without. Now, on the one we did a bit like this last time, we ignored these little veins. I'm not going to ignore them. I'm going to colour them in with a dark green. Yeah, what should we use? Fang green. I use the fang green. Here it is. Whoop, fang. It's a bit piney, this one, a bit bluey. That's okay. It's quite I actually really like this colour. In my original set, I think this one is teeny tiny. This is my second set of spider, the original spider set. Someone kindly sent it to me because they saw that mine were very short and they didn't use theirs. So very kind of them. Okay, now we're going to go, just thinking, I want a lighter green first, so I'm going to use the green glow. Here it is, green glow. Now, oh, you can barely see it. Could do with glowing a bit, couldn't it? So I'm going to go from the middle and then fade outwards from the centre a little bit, best I can, like that. Do the same in each little section. It's quite easier to break it down into little sections, like that. There we go. And then on the other side, just the same thing all over again, just section by section. I'm planning my lunch in my head while I'm colouring. We've got some bread. Often we freeze the bread we buy, it just lasts longer, but we've got a loaf of bread open at the moment. So I'm thinking sandwich. What should I have? Sandwich. Right, what I'm going to do with this is on the very edges of the leaves, I want a darker colour. I'm going to use the colour called Rusty. Is that you there? Yeah, Rusty. I'm going to put a little bit on the edges of the leaves, even though it's not marked. It's just, I know it seems silly that we had marking on yesterday's and I didn't use it, but today I'm making it up. But it does show you if you don't have it, you can still do it. I just fancied doing something a bit different, like that. My tongue was sticking out then as I was trying to blend there. I must do some meditation tonight. I forgot to do it yesterday. Well, I was doing this, that and the other, catching up with a few things on Instagram before bed, and then I can't remember what else I was doing, and then I just didn't end up getting around to doing it. Now, I don't think that works very nicely, but what I know I can do is grab a colour. I'm going to use the olive gold, and I'm going to go all over the whole thing, and hopefully just bring it all together, a slightly different shade of colour, and help to sort of blend it up. That's my hope anyway. I think that's a bit better. It's not perfect, a little bit. Okay. Yeah, we've got a lot of leaves to go. So I've got this one here. I'm actually going to start with this olive gold. I rather like it. You can't really see what it looks like on that one, but look at it. It's like a really pretty, oh, my son and husband are back. I think I might have to go and get lunch and come back to you in a bit. Right, I am back now, carrying on with this leaf with our olive gold. You probably haven't forgotten. I have, because I grabbed a sandwich. Don't normally eat sandwiches, but there was some nice fresh bread. Grabbed a crisp sandwich, really healthy. It was delicious. There we go. So there's our leaf in the olive. I want the outside to be a different colour. I quite like it to be, wanted it to be a sort of darker olivey yellow colour, but we don't really have that. I'm going to try the Cobra, because it does seem like a darker version. That just says Cobra, that's the set, not the pencil, but this one is short. I'm going to try it and see if it's darker. This is my favourite colour. Can you tell? It's a bit short. Yeah, I needed that lunch. It's I won't keep whinging that I'm hungry now. There we go. It's not dark enough really. I want one of those olive greens. We got the olive green out. No, here's the olive green. So I just bashed the tripod, and I'm just going to put a little tad of that on top of the edge. I know it's a bit unusual to have a green edge rather than a brown edge or whatever, but why not? I'm just playing. Different colour combos, playing around, seeing what I like and dislike. I don't really dislike, to be honest. It's just fun. Now, this leaf here, I'm trying to work out, I can look at one there because it's the same. So it's the edge of it and this is the central piece. Okay, now I think I want to do it so that the veins and stem and edge are lighter than the central part for this one. I'm going to colour it in a green. I'm going to use the nice apple green, like this one. I'm going to colour it all over in this, and then I'm going to get a darker colour to put. We did this similar thing with, or we did it a bit differently with the other one. So like that. And I want it darker on the bits that aren't edges and veins. So I'm going to actually just put down another layer of this. I'm not sure. Oh, my son is talking so loudly downstairs. He's getting all excited, raising his voice. That's okay. My other son and husband had gone out for a driving lesson. Husband took son, you know. And they had a bit of a near miss apparently, where a car, here's a leather, I'm going to use it here. Again, I'm just going to do a layer, an even layer this time over this, and then I'm going to add in some other colours. Yes, he was on a roundabout and a van came up behind him, overtook him on the roundabout and nearly ploughed into a car on the other side of the road. But he just slowed down very quickly and had a breath. Basically, he actually laughed. This is dark tan. He thought it was quite funny. I don't know if my husband thought it was quite so funny. But anyway, they didn't get hit. But they were surprised there wasn't an accident. I'm going to just go around the edge with this, I think. But fortunately, all was okay. And then they caught up with it and just sat on its bumper. Well, not quite that close. My son doesn't do that. He's going to be driving me tomorrow, which is nice. My husband will be in the front of the car instructing him because I've not taken him out. I haven't driven that car, so I don't feel qualified to take him out in the car, really. Now, we've got a little blip here, remember that? And I forgot to do the ones at the top there. I'm just going to grab a random green. This is the green grass. And just do that as if it's a bit of leaf there. And then up here. Remember I said I thought that was a bit of that. Oh, I don't know. I just dropped pencils. I am going to just do those in random colours. I'm going to use the pine for this one. And this one, I think it does need to be a sort of brownish colour. I think I used the stink bug. That's worked nicely. Okay, so now we've got these three left. So this one, I'm looking at one we've done like it before. You can't see where I'm pointing. I want to do it differently. I think I want quite a reddish leaf. Now I am going to actually grab, there's a colour called fire. I'm going to use that. Here it is, fire. In fact, I'm going to do it for this one. Make it look a bit mapley. Maybe. So I'm just going to put a layer of this colour down and see how it looks. I'm hoping this is an orangey red. I'm hoping. It looked like it on the swatch chart. But I have a bit of a distrust for this swatch chart because some of them are faded. But I think it's okay. It's not very vibrant. I'm not putting down a very dark layer. I think I'm going to have to put down a bit more. So we'll see how it all goes. Yeah, it's apparently a really good year for autumn leaves in the UK because of the way our weather was. And this week coming up, on recording this, is the week when all the arboretums put all their prices up because it's half term for a lot of schools, so people can take the time off and they go, and they can look really stunning. But we aren't, we do have one in our town actually, little mini arboretum in our park, which is really fun. Haven't been there. It's quite a long way. Just right by where my son works. It's not that far, but when you've got stuff to do, you know, I don't always go that far. I'm going to use the mahogany for the outside edge. It then won't look anything like a maple leaf, but I just want to do that. Yeah, so there, but I'm not sure what type. I think mainly native trees, but they are very pretty. I'll have to ask him how pretty they are, whether it's worth going over there and having a little look. He probably doesn't notice, knowing him, when he's walking head down, just get there, get to my destination, you know. At least he doesn't have a phone on or anything when he's walking. I've taught them very carefully that they mustn't do that because it's just not good. This one here, I think we need a bit of green in here. What was sort of boldish green? Let me see, what have we got? What could we use? I'm going to use the grub green, I think, and then I might put another colour on top, grub green. Excuse me, I'm going to use it quite dark in the middle. Layer it up here. Fade it to the edge. Yeah, I've left them all having lunch because I've got a family video chat soon, so I wanted to get this video done so that I could then be editing while I'm doing video chat. And after I finish, because I've been talking to you and then I'll be talking to them, I won't have any talk left. I'm struggling as it is actually, which is very rare for me. I'm just going to have a slurp of my drink, which I brought up with me. I'm quite liking that colour. It doesn't look too bluey, which is what I've been trying to avoid on this page. But I want to put a colour around the edge, and I think I'm going to go for there's an interesting colour. Where are you? Dungeon. I'm going to use Dungeon. Oh, you can't barely see it. Dungeon. Around the edge. I've gone hoarse since I've had my drink. It doesn't make any sense, does it? Excuse me. So all the way around we go. Yeah, I'm sort of thinking in my head just then, I might have to shuffle a few videos around and change the order a bit. So it might get a little bit odd, you know, because I'm sort of recording videos now. When Johanna's book comes out, I'll be recording from there, and I want those out as quick as I can because I know everyone's going to be wanting them really fast. So yeah, it'll all be a bit muddled, I think. This is lime fruit, but as long as these go out before the end of the month, I think that's okay. So I'm using the lime fruit for the stemmy bits because I want them to be paler. This is quite a pale, it almost looks fluorescent, but more of a yellowy green. There we go. Excuse me, I've got hiccups now, getting too excited. Now I'm going to use this colour, which is green tea. It's a fun colour name. I'm going to try and make it a little bit darker towards the middle, lighter on the edge, why not? Now, because I stopped and came back, I've got no idea how long this video is, and I'm sort of having a think about whether I want to do a background. I think that if I did, it would take from what I've done, unless I did a colour that was totally different to what I've done, like blue or something, which I think it just would look a bit odd. If I tried to do like an autumnal coloured background, I think everything would just disappear. So I think I'm not going to do one. I think it'll be better without one out. Will the light bronze work? Is it dark enough? No. It's too much like what I've done. What about that cardboard colour? No. Okay, we're going to have to go a little darker. I'm going to go for a darker brown. I think the foxy brown. That's a good brown. We haven't used that one yet. Foxy brown. All the way around. So yes, I thought, you know, yellow might work because we haven't really done any yellow, but I can't, my yellow backgrounds don't always look particularly good because I can't really see yellow very well and distinguish it from white. I don't think I'm colourblind, it's just the way my light glares off the paper. So I used to do yellow backgrounds and think they looked really good, and then when I photographed them I realised they really didn't look very good. But there is my completed page. Yeah, I'm going to leave it with a white. Yeah, I'm pondering and I'm thinking, yeah, I think we'll just leave it there. Everything sort of jumps off the page because it's very bright with the white background, so I think that's working for me anyway. But as I say, you could try a yellow if you're confident, more confident than me. Right, that is me done. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that was okay, give you a few different ideas, maybe things you do like, maybe things you don't like, different colour combinations. Yeah, so there we are. It's come out, I'm pleased with the sort of bright, cheerful page, so that's rather good. Yes, so thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day and happy colouring.